Hi, friends. My name is Eric Barnett, and I'm a singer-songwriter from Charleston, South Carolina, and you're listening to Songs of the Unsung. Songs of the Unsung is a podcast where I talk to fellow singer-songwriters about the craft. This week's guest is Adam Tomkowski, a.k.a. Adam Tomcat. Adam is a fantastic country singer-songwriter, a former Ohioan, and a firefighter here in Charleston. He's got a couple singles out and an EP on the way. Enjoy my conversation with Adam Tomcat. What's up, Adam?
What is going on, Eric? Good to see you.
Not too much, man. Good to see you, too. Haven't seen you in a bit.
I know you've been hiding. I don't know where you've been at.
Oh, man. We met during kind of the open mic circuit, so we got to see each other a lot there. I haven't been hitting up a lot of the open mics lately. Yeah. Even before COVID, I was kind of, work stuff being what it is.
Yeah.
And
life happens.
Yeah, man. But it is good to see you. It's good to see you're working on a record.
Yes, sir.
I saw you had some songs up, and I thought, what better time to have you in here and talk about songwriting and talk about country music. I haven't had a lot of folks on here yet that are really, country music. Looking to expand, man.
That's it.
Looking to expand. A couple resources I looked up when I was doing some research on you is you were the MUFIC Songwriter of the Month, January 2021.
Yes, sir. First of the year.
Yeah, man. That's a good one. A good group of folks out there. Kevin Church interviewed you. And also the Fox 24 Spotlight Music Series, August 2021. That was kind of coinciding with the single you put out at the time.
Yep. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good. I'll put links to those in the show notes so folks can go check those out. Let's get into a little what makes you you and what brought you here today.
Let's do it. Let's crack the egg.
All right, man. Originally from Parma, Ohio.
That's it. You did your research. I've listened to the other podcasts, too, and I was like, I'm excited to see what you'll find.
Not a whole lot, man. Nothing too bad. But yeah, did some research. Parma, Ohio. I'm from a town called Gallion, Ohio, maybe an hour and a half from there. But what brought you here to Charleston?
Work. Actually, I work for the fire department, and the department that I work for held a test where I went through fire school. Yeah. Right out of high school. And I took it just for fun, like practice. And I ended up passing it, and a few months later being offered a job.
Oh, nice.
And I was 21 years old. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it, Regardless, like my parents were like, it's probably not a good idea. You don't know anyone there. You know, anything like that. But I was like, I feel like I need to do this.
Are they down with it now?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
As soon as they saw me packing bags, they were like, okay, he's serious.
He means it.
Yep. So I've been here 6 years since, and I wouldn't change anything.
Excellent, man.
About that decision, yeah.
Got your first guitar at 12, you said.
Yes, sir. A Fender Squire. 12th birthday. I got a big box TV, probably about a 12-inch TV, and a Fender Squire.
And that's because your dad's a musician.
He is. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your dad.
So, growing up, he was in a band. They were Tom Wilson and Texas Storm. That was their band name. And I grew up, my dad playing, like band members coming over, taking me to gigs and everything like that. He'd bring me up on stage, and that's what started the bug, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
And it was country music?
Yes, sir.
Just solely country music?
Country music, yep.
Now, country music is such a broad term. Yeah. Was it mainly kind of 90s country? Or are we talking classic country, outlaw country?
Big 90s.
Big 90s. So we're talking
George Strait,
George and Alan and Garth and all that good stuff. Right on. So that's sort of where you caught the bug for country as well, wasn't it?
Yes. I caught it then and kind of went away for a little bit and then kind of refound it later on in life and kind of taking it from there.
Mainly 90s once again?
Yes. Yeah. I dove into, like, you would think that I would have roots of like some older stuff, like some Merle or Hank Jr., Hank Sr., everything like that. But I'm like more so discovering them now.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool to hear the roots of what I listen to,
Absolutely, man. My wife and I went to New Mexico and back in March, and I had gone the year before out and back, and both times I stopped in like Lukenbach, Texas, in New Braunfels, where there's a place called Groon Hall, where a lot of like that crew played music. My family kind of maybe 3 generations ago came from Texas. So I always wanted to kind of see where sort of my roots were. And I had one grandmother on my father's side who always played me classic country.
Yep.
A lot of outlaw country. See, there's like outlaw country, and that's when, you know, William Whalen and the boys. But before that was really kind of more, I don't know, where it was closer to pop, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but it was interesting to go see all those things, man. Like sometime if you're ever traveling, do your best to look those places up. It's so cool. Yeah, man.
I've heard good things too about Texas. I haven't been there yet. I recently went to Nashville for the first time.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it wasn't really what I thought it would be, but it was at the same time.
I mean, it's been a long time since Nashville, it was really like predominantly country music. Yeah. Nashville is very, it's grown to encompass all the styles of music, but also it's grown to the point where it's almost outgrown itself.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I felt almost like it was almost like a tourist trappy.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know. Yeah.
Everybody and their brother now wants to be a country music singer and go to Nashville and do the whole thing, and they're ready to take your money.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But did you at least see some sort of historical stuff? And
yeah, we went to the Grand Ole Opry. Did the tour there. That was super cool. That was a big highlight. Just kind of going to like different big name bars like Tootsie's and yeah,
right on. Man.
It was cool seeing that. You know, there's literally music everywhere. You know, 11 in the morning, like it makes you want to drink a beer. It's like you know, it's 11 o'clock. I don't know, but yeah, it's everywhere, and that's one of the like very cool parts about it.
Did you sort of get the feeling though? They're like, okay, there is music everywhere, but I can't break into this. There's so much. Yeah,
that's what I felt like. Yeah, it's very saturated to where I like to call Charleston almost like Nashville light, because it feels like what Nashville would have been maybe 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Where there's so much opportunity here to play music and kind of just be out and kind of make a name for yourself, as opposed to just, like I said, oversaturated. Just everyone is there and they want to do the same thing, and they're all very talented.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's people go to Charleston. Well, our type from Ohio seem to go to Charleston quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Our type.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, we ought to stick together, man. Ohioans here in Charleston, because they don't like us too well.
They don't. They got websites and everything.
Yeah. But I will say, man, like I do feel like there is a lot of opportunity for musicians here to come out and play. And no matter what kind of stuff you do, there's a place you can go. There's a crowd that's willing to accept you. And it's not so exclusionary as like Nashville. One time I went to New Orleans, kind of looking around, where can I play and that sort of stuff. And it's sort of the thing where if you're not one of them and you're not in it, they kind of don't want you.
You know? Very exclusive.
Yeah. Well, right on. Does your dad still play?
Yeah, he does here and there, just like around the house. When they come to visit and everything, if I have a gig or if there's an open mic, we'll go, and I'll kind of push him to go up on stage, you know.
It's awesome. You said in a different interview that your dad did write some of his own songs?
Yeah, well, him and his band.
Okay.
Yeah. Recently, with me playing a lot, it kind of gets him to dig into his old stuff, you know. And
very cool, man.
He was finding pictures. He found a song he didn't even remember writing, you know, and he was like, I don't even know what this is, to be honest with you.
Awesome. I mean, that's so cool that you can have that thing to share with your father, almost like it's, you know, some people have jewelry stores as the family business, but when it's being a country music singer, that's a special thing, man.
Yeah, it all kind of falls into place. And it's weird because, so his name's also Adam, his first name. My first name's Adam. And with his band, he went by Tom Wilson because of our last name.
Yep.
Like, I think that's how he got it.
Sure.
So I go by Tomcat a lot. And there's weird similarities that kind of all just fall into place.
I mean, when you think of Tomkowski, your first thought isn't like country music singer.
No,
I feel you there. Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah, that's That's Parma, Ohio, man.
That's true. We got a Polish village.
Yeah, for sure.
Pierogies everywhere.
I actually was able to find a couple of songs of your dad singing on YouTube.
You did?
I think one of his old bandmates put a couple up.
Yep, Jim.
Yeah, him singing Cool Spring Water,
Yeah.
and then there was George Strait
George Strait, yeah.
George Strait tune. Yeah, man, I can definitely hear a little bit of him in your voice.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's very cool, man. When did you start writing your own songs?
So I started writing, I guess, not seriously, but tried writing maybe in like 2014, 2013, around there, like just out of high school, just kind of playing around. I mean, going back, like I've recorded videos of myself and they're private now, like no one else can see them.
Sure.
But like just hearing them, it's like, what was I thinking? You know, like that's like super corny, or that doesn't sound like, that's not even really a song. But I'd say that's probably when I started really dabbling around. And I took a break for a bit and started seriously writing around 2018. Around there.
Now, you said for a little bit you sort of drifted away from country and then kind of came back. When you started writing those songs, were they country songs? Or were they in another genre?
I don't even know. I'd say they were probably just more so like folky, like singer-songwriter kind of songs. You know, like I've noticed a lot, depending on what I'm listening to in the time, that's what my music will sound like.
Okay.
You know, like whether it be a specific artist or a specific genre. But like I know around that time I listened to like 21 Pilots a lot.
Okay.
You know, they were big, and I was like, I like that sound, you know, like put an organ in there and like a piano kind of things. But now I just listen to country. Now I just write country, you know. But you can hear the different artist influences, you know.
Sure, man. Sure. I can definitely listening to your single Got Me Drunk on You, I definitely hear like it's more of a 90s country song than it would be I don't even know what country is today.
I know.
I don't know, because I understand that all music is sort of pop music in its own way, that the stuff you hear is the stuff that's going to sell the most records. So
made to be that way.
Yeah. So I understand that that's why it drifted towards hip hop or what have you, but I don't know, man. I don't connect with the country hip hop at all.
No. Yeah. I remember hearing about it too years ago at a friend's party, and he was like, he worked at a studio, and he said, I just made up this new genre. It's called hick hop. And he played it for me, and I was like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not really my cup of tea either. I mean, to each their own, but
for sure, man. Like, I mean, even myself, when it comes to my own preferences as far as country music, I'm like everything up to Garth. It's that's sort of like where my line lies. Not that everything, including or since, has been bad.
Right.
Some has, and some before has too. That's just how music works. But I don't know. I like having my grandma always playing me like Highwaymen and all that stuff. That's sort of what I gravitate to, and also it's sort of kind of what my music occasionally flirts with. More of I love Townes Van Zandt, where it's you kind of think of him playing solo a lot of the time too. You're not hearing all the band and stuff with it. But I will say I did enjoy finally hearing you with like other instruments going on as well.
Full band, yeah.
Yeah, man. That first single, Got Me Drunk on You. Tell me a little about that.
So my songwriting process is kind of weird. Like, it just depends on how I'm feeling. And I remember that song specifically, when I wrote it, I was just playing around on the guitar with some chords, you know, your quote unquote Nashville number system, like your G, D, E minor, C. And I had just been fiddling around, and I mumble some stuff, and I'm like, got me drunk on you, 1, 2, stepping into.
Yeah.
I think that there was actually a song around the time, it may have been, I don't remember, it might have been a Luke Bryan song, and I hated it. It was on the radio all the time, and it was like 1 margarita, 2 margarita, but he counted, and it would get stuck in your head.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, you know what, that's something, and I think subconsciously that probably played a role into it. But trying to add in that, you know, like there's not really too many like dance country songs anymore.
Right.
Like when it comes to like honky tonk and like two-stepping music, and that kind of just influenced me to kind of make like a fun song and some that can make people move, you know.
Right on.
So,
and then you took that and went into, was it Costello Studios for that one?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And Chris Vieira is who you worked with. I don't know Chris, but I know him from his work. I've heard some other musicians come through.
Yeah, Chris is an awesome dude.
Yeah, man. Did like, was the arrangement in your head or in his?
So it was more so I went in, like this being my first time actually recording in a studio. And having like session players come in. And on that song, it was a man named Evan. And he had come in. He was like a drummer, like one of those super talented people where they can pick up anything and just play it.
Okay, yeah.
And he had come in, heard the song. He was like, you know, I vibe with this. He was like, what do you think about if we do this? You know? And I was super open to it. So we played around with different things. Like, and he was like, you know what we're missing? Maybe some piano. Yeah. And I was like, let's try it. You know? And it sounded awesome. And there's never a point where I was like, nah, that sounds dumb. Like it built up to like a really full song. And it just turned out really well. I think I got really lucky with that.
Yeah, it sounds like a band, man. It doesn't sound like a couple people doing it over and over again. But yeah, man, sounds really good.
Thank you.
I saw you play a little bit of piano yourself, don't you?
I know a few chords.
Okay.
That's it.
I've seen some videos of you playing piano. How was that experience of recording?
It's very cool, but also very like nerve-wracking at the same time. You know, like, because obviously it comes out of your pocket. You know, like we're not sponsored by people like local musicians like us. You know, like you're paying for it with your own money, and you wanna get what you envision in your head as your outcome. You know, but as long as you have faith, like in your producer and the people you're working with, you can't really go wrong. You know.
That's awesome, man. And that's who you're working with on this record right now.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Good deal, man. Yeah, I've recorded a couple times where I was just the musician. I had nothing to do with the recording process. But also in college, I went to school to learn recording music because, I don't know, I got this like, I'm a control freak. I can't let anybody have control over everything. So, but it trained me, like, you know, when I was recording and it was like paying for studio time, man, you do feel under the gun a little bit.
Oh yeah. You're like, I don't want to mess up. I'm paying like by the hour, you know?
And I mean, you're singing in front of people and there's no place to hide. And, not, you know, recording my own music has made it so you're a lot less under the gun, you know?
Yeah.
But however, it made it so I can really procrastinate.
Oh, because I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm not paying by the hour, I can actually just, you know, go play games on my phone today and come back and try this again tomorrow. And it makes it so you don't accomplish a lot of things.
Yeah. Double-edged sword.
Yeah. You have another single up on Spotify and Apple Music, and that's from your music section. Isn't it?
Yeah. That was kind of like my my test using a distributing thing for streaming services. And Chris Tidestrom did all the stuff with it with Dave Benerexi, and I had asked him if he could send me the audio file just so I could test. You know? And it turned out well. You know, a lot of people ask me about that song. You know, people are like, "This reminds me of Red Hot Chili Peppers," or like something weird. I don't know.
Okay.
But, yeah, I don't know. But it's just up there, and I don't want to necessarily take it away. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, man, you're in control of everything you can do. And the beauty of it is you can leave it for as long as you need it. You can take it away whenever you need it. It's a great performance. It's you and Kevin Church on bass and Karen Egan playing some, it was a viola, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Those two played when I did the music thing. But yeah, wonderful group of folks. Chris Tidestrom does great work. But yeah, man, it sounds good. Those two songs, the only thing is, where's 3? It has me wanting more.
It's coming. It's coming. That's why I've bit the bullet and been stashing some money away and contacted Chris Vieira, and we're working right now.
Excellent, man. And now, how many songs?
So 6.
6 songs.
Yes, sir.
Long EP.
Yep.
Excellent. Any songs that I might know? I've kind of been looking through your YouTube channel and seeing you.
I would say probably, yeah. Even you may have probably heard some even just from like open mic nights.
Yeah.
Like early day open mic nights at like Parson Jack's.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Like when I first started writing it, I was like, I'm going to test this out and play it out. But a lot of the songs that I have decided to put on here, I may have written them a while ago, but I've reworked them.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Broke down the lyrics, added more stuff, fill them out better, and make them more of a full song.
I can tell you from experience, I've recorded songs that I've had for years, and I've recorded songs that I wrote the day I recorded them. I always regret recording something too fast.
Yeah.
That not tempo-wise, but like too quickly after writing it. Because you got to play something out 100 times, and it kind of turns into different versions of itself. But yeah, man, once you've road tested something and worked all the kinks out of it, that's a great time to get in there.
Very true.
Is it sort of the same lineup of musicians you're working with?
So no, it's different this time.
Okay.
So Chris has a friend, his name's Ben. He's talked him up like exponentially.
Okay.
He's very educated. Like he literally went to school like for music.
Nice.
He's very like cut and dry. Like if this is what you want, this is what you get.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. But he's also creative and everything. So I'm excited to hear his take on stuff.
Nice, man. Have you heard anything back yet?
Not yet. Drums and bass were just put on a couple days ago.
Okay.
So I'm looking for more time to come back in and kind of add more, like some lead guitar stuff.
Sure. Yeah. How are they doing the process? Do you recording to a click?
Yes, for some, and that's something that I've never been used to, and I had to practice. I had to practice for forever, and I did surprisingly well after taking the time to actually find the BPM for each song. And breaking it down and trying to do it. But there are two more because I've cut 4 right now, and I've got 2 more that I got to do. And I saved them because I don't know how I'm going to do it to a metronome or a click track or anything like that. Like they're too off the wall. So.
Yeah, I've tried, man. I actually play drums and everything on when I do recording as well, and it's actually easier for me to play on the click on guitar than it is on drums, just because I'm a garbage drummer. But you kind of have to find the fine line between perfectly following that click and then like having a little bit of a vibe to it as well.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin something that.
Yeah, just by locking it into too tight of a box. Mm-hmm. It's difficult. People that don't record don't understand. The average person, I don't believe, has any understanding of how much work goes into the music they're hearing every day.
No, probably not. No clue.
Yeah, it's subtlety is so difficult to finally master, making everything just so on a recording. It's made me pull all my hair out.
Yeah. And I've heard recently before, I was watching like some YouTube videos and stuff, and people really delve into like how they want so many different effects like on their tracks and everything like that to make them sound good. But the art of it is to have them all on there, but to where you don't notice them.
Sure.
Like, have them be so subtle.
Sure.
So everything sounds natural and just works well with each other.
I can't help though, but thinking back to the days where they weren't able to do all that stuff. They weren't able to get in there and pitch correct and chop things around. I mean, if you look, my favorite group is the Beatles, but if you look even like old country, even up to the 90s, they had session musicians that were just top notch. If I had to point at any genre and say that that's where you kind of knew session musicians from, it's country music.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of that Nashville factory they had, where if you showed up in that town not being able to shred on a Telecaster, if you were just mediocre, forget it.
Yep, you're out. You're out.
So, yeah, man, it's great that, I can use a studio right now to make myself sound like I even can manage behind a drum set, but I can't imagine back into the day where it was just a room full of people and what they did is what came out.
Yep, just going at it.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm excited to hear the record. Any sort of timetable, any idea when it's going to come out?
So I would like for it to be out by the end of June. or within like the first week or two of July. I'm not trying to force stuff and like push it too fast, but
Sure.
it's something I've really wanted to put out for a while.
Oh yeah,
And
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it, and I've got some folks excited about it. And like you had said before too, like I have a little bit of music out there,
Yeah.
but I'm very excited to have more music out there so I can share with folks, and like people can be like, oh, this is what he's putting out, this is what he's about, this is what he sounds like,
Gonna tour it?
I don't know. I'd like to. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But, we'll see.
Now, do you play gigs when you go back home?
I have not.
No. Huh?
No, never. I would like to. There's a couple places back home that are opening. There's one specifically that it's like a country bar, and I'm trying to get in there, But
yeah,
it seems pretty tight knit there, so we'll see. I'll just keep bothering them. Maybe they'll say something.
Yeah. Do you play open mics when you go back?
There aren't too many.
Really?
No. I played maybe one open mic when I still lived there.
Uh-huh.
And other than, it was like at a coffee shop, like in Lakewood, Ohio.
Yeah.
On a Tuesday. And I did that maybe once or twice. And it wasn't until I moved to Charleston, pre-COVID.
Yep.
Like there was, every day of the week was an open mic night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And there's a community.
Uh-huh.
And that's where we met each other.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's where I've met so many people. I mean, we know a lot of the same people through open mics.
Mm-hmm.
The Hills family,
Yep.
You can always count on Ricky to get up there and blast out some country songs everybody likes. But even Kevin Church, not even from MUFIC, from being over at Tommy Condon's.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a tight knit family, the open mics.
It's true.
I never experienced that in Ohio.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird.
Although, and I've talked to some other folks who've come from Ohio to here, there are places in Ohio where they're a little bit more receptive to original music, I've found.
Really?
Yeah, not that they're not receptive here. There's Allendale Green that's really good. And
right.
Pre-COVID, you'd gone to Holy City Confessionals with Danielle Howell. And so there are spots here. But aside from Allendale Green, I cannot think of too many spots you could book a gig.
Just doing original music?
Yeah, saying I'm going to do 95% original songs. Mm-hmm. Where there were places around, at least, I never ventured too much into the Cleveland area, but in the Columbus, Cincinnati, Dayton area, there were a lot of places where you could sort of book sort of a bill of like 3 songwriters. Where, you'd each get an hour, but people would go and expect to hear original music.
Right, almost like a Bluebird Cafe kind of deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope, Charleston can find some places that'll do that. Have you been to the Soapbox?
I have not yet. That's on my list of to-dos.
You should do that, man. That's my last guest on this show was George Fox, the fellow that runs it. I'm actually going to go out tonight. But yeah, that's actually, it's still 3-4 songs. It's still sort of open mic length, but it's sort of filling the space that's left behind with Holy City Confessionals not being here.
Yeah.
Where, when you go, you're expected to do your own songs. And the wonderful part about that is there's actually a songwriters community there.
Yeah.
Where, typically the open mic community, it is musicians,
but
not all of them are songwriters.
Yeah, not necessarily.
Yeah. So that's a cool one. I don't know. We'll see what Charleston does as far as that's concerned. For a time when I started doing this podcast, I started doing a songwriter showcase that was, kind of 3 acts, 45 minutes apiece. I'm trying to find a venue to do that in, but I'd like to fire that back up again.
Yeah. We need that, And
I think so.
I know Chris Tidestrom, he did one at Southern Roots in Park Circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did one for maybe 2 months or so before they kind of like cut it out. But that was cool, and I've said it then and I'll say it every time, like those kind of songwriter nights, they inspire people to write. At least they do for me.
For sure.
Like, I don't want to keep going back playing the same 3-4 songs every time. Like, I need something new. It's got to be cool,
I've always wondered about open mic nights. Like, a lot of this isn't the same on all of them, but we're poor. Musicians, we are poor. And I wonder sometimes when we go into a bar to play our songs, and we're not really spending that much money there, especially if we're going to open mics every night of the week. You know, it's kind of special when an open mic can last at a place. And that's what makes sort of the Tommy Condons and the, you know, what used to be Parson Jackson is now Stone's Throw, and it makes all those stick around, because I mean, we've both been to a lot of open mics that didn't hang around also.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about your album, we've been talking about your songs. Why don't you play a song for us?
Sure. So my name of the EP is it's called It Ain't Even Midnight. And a song on there, that's why it's named that. But I'd love to play that one for you.
All right, man, let's hear it.
All right.
Pick you up when you're ready to go. Yeah, I pull in, keep my lights down low. It's getting late and your mama don't know that I'm coming around. You can slide on up on that front seat. Time stops when you're riding with me. Got your feet on my dash, my hand on your lap, the radio up, playing old Johnny Cash. You got the windows down, you're dancing around like that. It ain't even midnight. It ain't even midnight. You're the cutest thing that I've ever seen. A South Carolina looking daydream. An open road with nowhere to be. No way of telling where the night might lead. You got your feet on my dash, my hand on your lap, the radio up, playing old Johnny Cash. You got the windows down, you're dancing around like that. It ain't even midnight. It ain't even midnight. No, I don't want this night to ever end. Want to get you away for the weekend. Steal a kiss in the moonlight glow. The night is young and all I know. Yeah, all I know. You've got your feet on my dash, my hand on your lap, the radio up, playing old Johnny Cash. You got the windows down, you're dancing around like that. You've got your feet on my dash, my hand on your lap, the radio up, playing old Johnny Cash. You got the windows down, you're dancing around like that. It ain't even midnight. It ain't even midnight. It ain't even midnight.
Very nice, man.
Thank you.
I like that one. So you said that's the title of the EP?
Yes, sir.
Any story behind the writing of that tune?
That's one of those songs that I wrote when I first started writing back in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it and revisited it when I found out I was going to be recording. I was like, this song needs to be on it. I've heard nothing but good things. And a lot of people have told me, they're like, this sounds like something that should be on the radio, you know? And I was like,
yeah.
You know, it's catchy. It's got good vibes to it. You know,
I never know whether that's a compliment or
you
know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You know something? Every song you've heard that you love was on the radio.
That's true. That is true.
You know, I can look at it from one way, like, oh, are you trying to say I'm trying to be, you know, this, that, or the other? Yeah, man. Take the compliment.
Exactly.
That's somebody's way of telling you that song spoke to them,
right?
And they want to hear it again.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool, man. When it comes to your songwriting,
yes.
Now, do you specifically say, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna write a song, or do you kind of just wait for something to swing by?
It's a little bit of both.
You
know, I've had times where I'm like, I need to sit down. Like I've bought books on like lyricism and like from Barnes and Noble, like try to read them, do different exercises and try to see what comes out of it. And sometimes that works, but like you said before, when it comes to like kind of putting things in a grid, like super tight, you know, like you don't necessarily get that creativeness out of it that you can, but
it's still building muscles.
Yeah,
it's still lifting weights.
Yep.
I wish I was a little more dedicated about being okay with writing a bad song.
Yeah.
You don't have to play it for anyone.
It's hard.
But I will, the goalie will stop it before it even gets started with me. And I'm like, well, what am I doing with my time?
Yeah.
You know, if I'm not at least trying, I'd love to eventually find the dedication within myself to say, I'm going to sit down a half an hour a day or an hour a day. And because I think that will make more good songs happen.
Right.
It's hard though, man.
Yep. It is hard, especially like you said, like the goalie cuts it off, you know, because you're like, you know, this sucks. And I've done that countless times to where I've learned to be more forgiving of myself in my writing like that.
Yeah.
And I'll keep things in my notes on my phone, or like I prefer to write down in a notebook.
Yeah.
And I've found notebooks from like a year ago, and I'll be like, that's the line I need in this song that I've been holding off on. I couldn't finish, but now I can finish it.
I think sometimes you need time. Like you'll write a line and you might even have a specific melody in your head and it doesn't work anywhere else because of that. You've locked it into the box. Yeah. But when you forget that it existed and you see it later and somehow it now applies to this new thing, that's really valuable, man.
Oh yeah.
So, are you a lyrics first sort of guy?
It depends. Maybe like lines. Most of the time, no. Most of the time, it's just a feeling thing, playing on the guitar.
Yeah.
You know, mumbling something or having like a melody in my head and trying to figure it out. But again, those stupid Barnes & Noble books, I've tried to become more perceptive of things I hear around me, whether it be like people's conversations or something someone else says on stage. And I've written 2 songs because of that. You know, I heard someone say at a bar one time, they said something about a Western woman. I was like, that sounds like it'd be a cool song.
Man, I think as a musician, it is just your job to like just keep one ear open.
Mm-hmm.
And when something, especially if somebody means to say something and accidentally says something else, they like say some sort of new, and you're like, well, that just sounds like that could be a song.
Yep. Always keep your ears open. Always.
Do you have the books, the like you said, the Barnes and Noble books? Have they generated anything for you?
No. No. One of them was like, it was like songwriting for dummies. And I was like, I got like 2 pages in. I was like, okay, I'm not this dumb. You know, well, I paid $20 for the book, so that says something.
There's one that, and this is, I'm like such a low confidence songwriter. I'll just lose confidence in my ability and not even try for a while, or just say like, you know, I can go. I'll sit down tomorrow and write a song. And then tomorrow comes, you're like, well, I can do it the day after that. But one book I found that I actually stopped and said, well, I'm going to start this over when I have more time. One really good book I found is, it's called How to Write One Song by Jeff Tweedy. Mm-hmm. You know Jeff Tweedy?
No.
Tweedy at all? Lead singer of Wilco. But yeah, it's he might teach you how to write a song sort of like Jeff Tweedy, which if you want to write songs where all the lyrics have a meaning to them, don't start there. He has some of the most ridiculous lyrics, but also something I can go, how do you write something that ridiculous?
Yeah.
You know, you have like when you write, is it sort of autobiographical, or do you sort of invent a scenario, invent a character?
Yeah, it depends. It's all different. I've had times where I've written things about myself, and other times where I've written about things that like I wished I had.
Okay.
Like a life I wished I had. Or,
sure.
Or a person that was there,
Yeah.
But it's all just perspective, depends on the point in time in your life.
And when things start to come together, do you kind of record things on your phone and listen to them?
Sometimes, yeah, because I have written songs where I've it's been midnight, and I'm like, I got this song, this is gonna be awesome, and I'll go to sleep, and then the next day I'm trying to remember how I did it, and it's not the same, and I've lost it. So I try to be better about it and record it so I can re-listen to it and be like, oh, I did that then.
It's good to have that in your pocket, man. When you kind of start a song and it sort of starts to get its own legs, do you ever think like, oh, this sounds like an Alan Jackson song? Or do you kind of put that in somebody's voice, or is it all in your own voice?
It's usually in my own. When I first started like singing and playing, I noticed that when I would sing a certain artist, I was trying to sound like that artist.
Yeah.
So I've grown to kind of create my own voice in it. Whether it be a cover or originals, to where I think I've found my own sound vocally. Yeah. But there are times, like you said, my first single I put out, Got Me Drunk on You, like it does sound like a 90s kind of jam.
Oh, I mean, I didn't say that in any way as a sort of put down. Like
no,
that.
not at all. No.
But yeah, that's a jam, man.
Yeah, like in hindsight, you go back and you listen to it, it's like, this does sound like so-and-so, or this sounds similar to like this era, or
I mean, to me, it's refreshing because it's country music on the radio these days. I think people are trying to sound more and more alike. Yeah. Which wasn't going on, in the 90s. Everybody was like, how do I sound different?
Yep. Stand out.
Yeah. Yeah. And also talking about, when you're playing other folks' songs, figuring out what your own interpretation of that song is,
That's true.
I'm into that. Like, even my favorite musician, not a lot of people know who he is a fellow by the name of Tom Waits. Yeah. And the guy has the lowest, raspiest voice you've ever heard in your life. And the worst thing I could ever do is try to imitate that.
Right.
Because I just think it would sound just so false and bad.
Yeah.
So if I want to play his songs, I have to figure out a way that I can play his songs. So yeah, man. And that unlocks even a different kind of creativity in what you do with your own music.
Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, I guess this is who I am. Did you have trouble when you started out saying, okay, I play all these songs by all these people, but who is Adam Tomcat? Who is that guy?
Right. Yes, actually.
Yeah.
It took a while. It took a long while, and a lot of like recording myself and listening back to it and being like, why am I saying it like that, or why am I singing this song like that? Like, I need to find my own voice and make my own way in it. Make it my own.
Absolutely, man. When you are writing songs, do you hear? I know that you're just writing it, a voice and a guitar, but is there a point where you're sort of hearing an arrangement in your head, like this is where the drums kick in, this is the break and all that?
To an extent, yeah. I've never been able to drum or anything like that. Like, I have endless ideas in my head when I write something of like, ooh, this would be cool if it sounded like this in the beginning, or like some, even just like raw cut tracks I have of songs of mine, like driving around in the car listening to it. I'm like, with my mouth, like makes like steel guitar sounds, like, like things like that, or even guitar solos, because I'm straight rhythm. Like, I can't even begin to dabble on doing any kind of lead, but I can hear like where it would come in and how it would sound in my head. But
you ever thought about trying to put a band together and doing gigs with a group?
Yes and no. I would like to. When it comes to, it's kind of hard to play big venues and big crowds like as a solo acoustic artist, And one of those things that I really would like to chase would be like those big crowds, Like, that fires me up. Like if I'm playing like a bar or a restaurant, downtown Charleston, and like they're packed out and people are all about it, like I'm thriving.
Well, when I think about, and I'm going to say 90s country, but when I think about that kind of country, when I think about those country musicians, I can't even imagine Alan Jackson in a bar room.
Right.
I can't imagine. Can you imagine Garth Brooks on a small stage?
Well, I can, because I saw his documentary.
Sure.
Like his roots. But
if you just think,
not anymore.
If you just think of like the most iconic moments or the visions of those guys playing tunes, they're playing for a giant group of people. There's a band behind them just doing it, and the crowd's going wild and everybody's getting into it. So yeah, man, gotta have a band for that.
That's true. It's hard. It's hard to think about,
Yeah. Bands are tough in Charleston too.
Oh yeah. I've heard that too. Yeah. And even I feel like that's kind of anywhere. You got to depend on a lot of people to be dotting their I's and crossing their T's and showing up on time. And
a lot of people that got jobs and kids, and in Charleston, a lot of the time it's other bands and the other band. And
yep, I've heard that too. Yeah.
I started out actually playing in bands. I didn't play kind of singer-songwriter. Really? I played in bands in high school and then in college, and that's back when nobody had a real job and nobody had kids and
no responsibilities.
And I mean, you were playing music and it didn't matter that you didn't make any money.
Yep.
But I mean, you can't ask people in your late 20s, and I'm 40, hey, you want to go up there and not make much money?
Yeah.
People are going to be like, how about not?
It'll be fun.
Do you want to care about my songs and make no money? Oh, no? Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, that part's hard, man, but I'd love to see you with a band, man.
Yeah.
It was refreshing.
Yeah. Maybe one day.
We'll see that. Yeah. Excellent. Now, when you think about songs that you haven't written, or songs that you would want to write a song, to in a certain way, what I'm getting at is, are there songs by other musicians that you say like, oh man, if I could write a song like that, I'd be really doing something?
Yes. And I tell people about this to this day because it's kind of fresh still. But Scotty McCreery is an artist. He put out a song. It's called Damn Straight.
Uh-huh.
And it's about, he takes multiple George Strait song titles and like parts of the song and creates a whole song out of it. And I had that same idea about 3 years ago. And I found the notebook. I wrote it down. I didn't finish it. It was one of those things where it's like in the notes, half done. I'll visit it later. And it was literally the same concept. And now I can't even really touch it. I feel like I just be copying,
Right. Yeah. Any song? What are your favorite songs?
Ooh, that's hard. That's a hard question. It depends on the day,
Yeah.
Or like where I am in my life. Like sometimes I'm really digging like some uppity stuff, and sometimes I'm digging like those sad country songs,
I'm all about the sad
Yeah,
songs.
me
I keep going back to the sad songs, man.
Yeah.
When you're happy, you want to hear a sad song. When you're sad, you want to hear a sad song.
That's true.
It's pretty specific that you want to hear a song that just gets you upbeat. But
yeah, that's the weekend warrior kind of music,
Yeah.
Like you got some good vibes going on and you're just feeling good.
What are the songs you keep going back to though? Like what's like if you're like you go back, you're like, I can't. That song's been around for as long as I've been around.
Ooh. I would say for now, I've been playing it out a lot too because I recently rediscovered it. But being around my dad playing music all the time, growing up, one song he would either like play on CD or like cassette or even just like on guitar was George Strait's The Love Bug.
Okay.
And I was listening to Pandora driving around in my car and it popped up and it played and I was like, I know this song, but I didn't know I knew it until I heard it because it had been years. So I went home, looked it up, and I'm jamming it now, playing it at open mics and on gigs and stuff like that. But that's a classic one to me.
Now, when you listen to music, are you an albums guy or a singles guy?
Singles.
I know country is very singles oriented. Yeah. It's not a lot, especially in the last 30 years, that you can really think of like, sometimes you think you're like, oh, that album had those good singles on it.
Yeah.
But not a lot of people are writing a through
where
a
it plays
through line,
through and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of time I'm talking to sort of more, less country, more kind of folk or more even classic rock. A lot of that is sort of, they call it album oriented. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's interesting though. Singles. So when you think about putting out your own songs, you know, this is an EP. Do you think about an album or do you think about singles or?
I definitely, for the purpose behind this one, I definitely think like an album. Like they all have similar tones, similar sounds. Like they all mesh well together. And I think it does me right to put them all out just as once, or at once, for everyone to just listen to and find one they like. You know, because you may like this song, but you might not like the rest of them. But there's that one. You know, so you never know.
Yeah, I always think, because now that everything's digital, I mean, are you going to press CDs or is it just going to be digital? Or
well, I'm going to do digital, but I'll also probably do maybe like a small batch of hard copies on CD. You know, I got family I'll send them to, or like even selling them at gigs.
Oh yeah,
or giving them away. You know,
it always generates a little more money at a gig. One thing that is nice about EPs, albums, is you do kind of get motivated to have a physical thing. Oh yeah, you know, but at the same time, I haven't put out anything in 5 years. I made an album, and then I kind of moved here and hit a dry spell and got busy and did the whole thing. Where sometimes I feel when people put out singles, they start getting the pressure of, okay, when's the next one? Yeah. Did you feel that even the two you put out?
Yeah. Well, when I had put those out, like, this is how long it's been festering, like in me, like to do this and like get it done. Like I was like, I want more. Like,
oh yeah.
Even before anyone even said anything, it was like, I'm doing more. I want more. It's gonna happen. I just don't know when yet.
Yeah. Well, putting out a song's such a rush, man.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you know, people are just taking your word for it this whole time. You're like, oh no, I do this, and you'll hear it one day, and it'll be. And as soon as you can actually open your phone, and you go into that app that you listen to all the songs you like on, and then your song's there too.
Yeah.
That's a thing, man. I hope everybody can experience a rush that's similar to that. But yeah, man, also at the same time, people really like your single. And they're like, when's the next single? And they're like, oh, then
that's coming.
Next one after that. Yeah.
Like I remember you had mentioned I was on the music spotlight for Fox 24.
Yeah.
And that was almost coming up on a year ago. And even then, I was saying like I'm putting out an EP soon, you know, like, and I'm ready for it, and it hasn't been a year yet, but it's coming, and I'm planning on trying to get back on there to help promote this as well, and kind of get back out there.
Nice. I saw you'd done a lyric video for your single. You gonna do lyric videos and music videos and the whole thing?
I'm gonna try. You know, I did a lyric video with iMovie on an iPad. You know, just doing it, and after looking at like price ranges for like video wise, because I really wanted to do a video,
right?
You know, like a professional one, like make me look as cool as possible. You know, like get the music going, everything. Like I'll even like I have friends that are like, I just want to drink a beer in one of your videos, and I'm like, done.
Yeah.
You know? But I think that I'm gonna try, and it's been an idea bouncing around in my head a lot, and like even talking with the video producer for Fox 24. He was a super cool dude. He was telling me like, you know, you really don't need much for a video. He was like,
you don't.
He was like, your phone, if you got an iPhone, you can film in 4K. You know,
absolutely,
like 1080p. Man. I was like, he's got a good point. You know, like you just gotta just make it right and like take your time in editing it. You know, so I might try to dabble with that for one of these songs. And
I'll tell you, man, things aren't like they were 30 years ago. You can record a song in your house. You can make a video on your phone.
That's true.
I mean, the ball is in our court now.
Oh yeah.
You talked about, you know, messing around with distributing through and like, how do I get my songs on Spotify and all that good stuff? Man, you used to have a record label.
Oh yeah.
And getting on a record label, and maybe I gotta go try to play a place and get discovered. And there's a whole like, man, there's no hoops to jump through anymore, other than just working.
It's true. Yeah, working, paying your bills, and maybe getting lucky. You know, I mean, you could put a video on TikTok.
Yeah.
You never know.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of what's crazy about it.
It is, man. I'm excited to see what you come up with. You were talking about friends drinking. I want to drink a beer in your video. And I was thinking before, like, I've done videos of me like playing my songs.
Yeah.
But never like the video of, of the thing.
That's kind of what I want.
But I've always thought, like, man, what would I even like? Everything sort of has some sort of concept.
Yeah.
I'm like, what would I do? And then I was thinking about, like, in country music, if you have the right song, you got a field, you got a truck, you got people, you got beer, you got a video.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like doing that. Anybody's going to say, oh, you're copying off of so-and-so. You're like, no, that's what we do. That's
the format.
And as far as people going out in the field and drinking beer and sitting in their truck and enjoying music, that's everybody. That's a thing that happens in real life.
It's true.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Why don't you play something else that's going to be on the record?
Sure. So this song, I'm still working on getting this one cut. This is one of those weird timed metronome kind of deals. But I wrote this song based on just kind of how, like, people go down different paths in life, It's happened to me where you wind up where you didn't think you would, but things all kind of fall into place and you end up where you're supposed to be. And I wrote it. I'm a religious guy, I'm a Christian man, and I'm very blessed in my life. And I feel like this is kind of like my thank you for being so lucky and just blessed, So it's called I Thank God. And it's a good tune,
All right, man. Let's hear it.
All right.
One day you're out on the road and your car breaks down and it's gotta get towed, so you gotta figure out which guitar gets sold. You got a few bucks in the bank and a quarter tank left in that tank, and now you're showing up, you're late for work. When the work is dry, you got bills to pay. Even if you wish it went some other way. I thank God for every curve and twist, every little map dot that I missed, 'cause I wouldn't have been on the road. I'm traveling on. I thank God for every girl I kissed that it didn't work out. If it did, I wouldn't have found the arms of a woman that love me like you do. I guess it's part of a bigger plan. That you and me, we wouldn't understand. So I thank God. Yeah, I thank God. Think back when you was a kid and all your friends went out and you wished you didn't, until you found out they spent the whole night in jail. You might not get what you want, but get a little left over from what you need. And if you keep your faith strong, maybe then you'll see that even when it rains on your parade, even if you wish it was some other day. Yeah, I thank God for every curve and twist, every little map dot that I missed, 'cause I wouldn't have been on the road. Yeah, I'm traveling on. Yeah, I thank God for every curve and twist, every little map dot that I missed, 'cause I wouldn't have been on the road. Yeah, I'm traveling on. I guess it's part of a bigger plan. That you and me, we wouldn't understand. So I thank God. Yeah, I thank God. Yeah, to the ones we lost along the way. Yeah, I know they're in a better place. They're waiting to greet us at those pearly gates. So I thank God for every curve and twist, every little map dot that I missed, 'cause I wouldn't have been on the road I'm traveling on. Yeah, I thank God for every girl I kissed that it didn't work out. If it did, I wouldn't have found the arms of a woman that loved me like you do. I guess it's part of a bigger plan. That you and me, we wouldn't understand. Every day it makes me a better man. So I thank God. Yeah, I thank God.
Very nice, man.
Thank you.
That's a good one. So how do you juggle playing music and being a firefighter?
This is a question that has been asked a lot, and it's really not easy.
Yeah.
I've missed a lot of very good opportunities because of my work, like
Sure.
music-wise, whether it be gigs or, meeting up with other songwriters, kind of doing stuff. But it's a lot, and I'm still, to this day, I've said it a year ago, and I'll say it today, I'm still figuring it out. I bought a calendar, like a paper calendar,
yeah,
like about a month ago, just trying to organize stuff, because I'm the most unorganized when it comes to like planning or anything like that, and it shows because I bought that calendar a month ago and I still haven't written in it. But when I'm at work, I go and I do my job. But when I have downtime and I'm able to, I'll pick up my guitar,
right on.
Work on some stuff. Like I brought out a metronome before, practicing. Getting down to a click track kind of deal.
Sure.
Or I've written songs at the fire station before, and
you said it's like 24-hour shifts, right?
Yeah, 24 hours on and then 48 hours off.
Okay.
And occasionally we get what's called a forced day. Which means if someone calls out and it's your forced day, you get...
Yeah, you just can't plan anything that day, is what you're saying.
Today was one of those days, and I risked it, and I got lucky. I was hoping I wouldn't have to message you at 6:30 in the morning and be like, yeah, I can't come in.
It would have been fine.
Yeah.
So it's sort of if it's kind of 1 on 2 off, it sort of swing shifts you a little bit.
Yeah.
Where you can be like, okay, I can do next Friday, but not next Saturday. But then I can do the next Saturday.
Correct.
Yeah, I got you, man.
Yeah, like I've had people ask me if I could do like an open mic night, like host one. And I can't commit to it.
Like every other week, sometimes.
Yeah, I could do it 2 weeks and then not 1 week, and then 2 weeks and then not 1 week.
Yeah, every other week and sometimes not.
Yeah,
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always different, and I feel like with work, music has definitely given me like a good outlet.
Sure.
Whether just being creative and having a hobby outside of it to kind of get your mind off things and just get away,
Yeah, firefighting's definitely a profession where your best days are great days and your worst days are terrible days.
Very true.
There's in between, it seems, but my worst day screening porches is not near your worst day fighting fires and helping out the public. What do the fellas think about your music playing?
Oh, they're super, super supportive and super cool about it. I have people come out pretty consistently to gigs,
Yeah.
or like playing my song, like my single that's out. They play that a lot, whether it be like in the truck driving around or like we're out like tailgating at a concert. They'll plug their phone in and play that song.
Oh, right on, man.
They love it and they're super supportive, and I'm very grateful for that because it's nice to have a good little home support system crowd,
For sure, man. Well, it's great having you over here and talking about your music, man. I'm looking forward to hearing the EP, looking forward to seeing everything you're doing in the future. Hope to see a Adam Tomcat tour headed up to Cleveland.
That's it. You're coming with me.
All right, man. Count me in.
I'll keep a beer ice cold for you. We'll crack some. We'll shotgun a couple, It'll be a good time.
That sounds good, man. Thank you for coming out.
Right, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Well, I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Adam Tomcat. Looking to hear more from him, the EP he's putting out. I'll be sure to post more about it on our Facebook page, Songs of the Unsung. Also, songsoftheunsung.com. We're on Instagram and YouTube as well. Thank you so much.